What is up, everybody? This is RybackStun. Today, we are here with Marvel Heroes again, and we're taking a look at Cable. Now, I'm technically remaking this video because I do have a Cable build, that's the Psimatar build, from the pre-biggest games update ever. Nothing really significant has changed, it's just the way that the talents are built. So, I'm not going to go over all of his talents, I'm just going to go over the build itself. So this will be a shorter video. First things first, you're building fighting energy. Second thing is defensively, you've got defense dodge, health regeneration, and when you hit with a melee power, you get plus 8 defense, 8% damage reduction. Cyclone is our first talent. You'll notice these talents will have spear, psychic, or gun mastery. We're looking for spear mastery ones. Psimatar Sweep makes enemies vulnerable, so you no longer need Eye for Weakness for that. Your sweep damage is increased by 150%, and it has an 8-second cooldown. Psimatar power damage across the board is increased by 10%. Next, we have Kinetic Repulsion. When an enemy enters melee range, it triggers Kinetic Repulse, and it applies Guarded to allies while you're in combat, so you get extra health and health regeneration. And the Kinetic Pulse does a certain amount of mental damage and has a 6-second cooldown. Next, we have Impaling Thrust. Psimatar Slice no longer costs any spirit and is considered a basic power. Psimatar Thrust is increased by 250% damage, and it has an 8-second cooldown. And Psimatar Power across the board, again, is increased by 10%. Next, we have Psimatar Expert. Foresight Bomb is now considered a Psimatar power. That's your signature. Psimatar Slam gains the following effects. It increases Psimatar power damage across the board for 25% for 10 seconds. So when you hit Psimatar Slam, that's a 45% increase. And then last but not least, we have Lethal Lunge. Swift Lunge makes enemies weakened. Swift Lunge deals damage over time. And again, Psimatar power damage is increased by 10%. So by taking 3 of these talents, you're automatically making your Psimatar power damage increased by 10%. And then Psimatar Slam can give you another 25%. Synergies, we've got let's go back to the top. We've got Cable, obviously, for his own crit hit multiplier. Doctor Strange for mental damage. Gambit for the energy. Ghost Rider for the crit hit rating multiplier to mental powers. Iron Fist for the mental power damage and the health regeneration. Jean Grey for the mental damage and the energy damage, because you do a little bit of energy damage from your signature. And then we have Silver Surfer. Nope, that's not right. I'll have to figure that out later. It probably shouldn't be Surfer. And it probably shouldn't be Thor either. Anyway, War Machine for the fighting. Wolverine for the brutal damage. And at some point in time, I'll fix these two. Go for mental stuff here. We'll go for Squirrel Girl. And we'll switch Thor over to Psylocke. I'm not entirely... Or, no, let's do to Nightcrawler since we do a lot of damage. There we go. Apologies for the in-system updates for these things. Alright, so, Mind Gem. This is your intelligence gem. Basically, all the points into Mind Over Matter. You want that health regen. Power Gem. I've put basically everything into Indomitable because that gives us less damage versus all attacks, and defense is super important. Reality Gem, Energy, and then we've got Inner Resilience for the health on hit. We've got Soul Gem, which is fighting, and then Strike Through. You probably want to put as many points as you can into fighting, and then the rest into Brutal Damage, or Brutal Chance, whatever you choose. We've got Space Gem here, 10 points into Spatial Substitution, and 10 points into Collocation for 1% Deflect and 1% Dodge. The rest into Micro Ups for the increased defense rating. And then in the Time Gem, we have Haste, which is increased movement speed, and then increased attack speed through Temporal Loophole. Now, the actual items themselves are not particularly finished. I need to trade out my Relic of Xandar, which is for ranged, into something else. So let's just go melee damage. Let's just do this. There we go. Again, build on the fly, folks. So, and this Essence of Dread also needs to be switched out because for some reason my mind was thinking mental damage and intelligence, but because his thing is fighting energy, you need to switch it out. Switch it out for something that has fighting, health, energy damage, or excuse me, mental damage, or just something, you know, that gives you a flat defense bonus. Tanya's would work. Tanya's Love Letter would work. Edge of Infinity would work. Just go with whatever. Flag. Crit damage, brutal damage, fighting, regular damage rating, brutal strike to get attack speed. Gem of the Cursed, great overall flat artifact for everybody. And because Psimatar Slash becomes a basic attack, +3 to all attributes gives you 2 of your attributes and +3, so that's 6, that's 24% power damage. And then also, when you hit with the basic power, you get 30 damage rating for 3 seconds, which stacks up to 25 times. Storm Giant Magi, this can also be power dupe if you really want, because you do get that extra energy off the Foresight Bomb. I just like the mental power damage and the growth of it. We've got Warlock's Eye. I'm still building into this because it's a recent change. Industry City Signet for mental power. You could also do, again, either a... Let me check this to make sure. Never mind. Sorry, you can do the Mental Energy Signet from the Xavier Institute. So every 30 seconds you can get that extra bonus, or you can just do a flat Industry City Signet. Using his own slot 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a Portal's Helmet because it does give me that fighting and a couple extra stats that are better than what he normally gets from his own stuff. Genetic Mutation, you'll, again, fighting or energy on it. You always want regen. You want to try to get as much, you want to try to get the Cosmic Damage Shield on it. Using the Cable X-Force Classic costume because it is actually pretty good, and I had it hanging around. I've got a Taskmaster with Brutal Damage and Health on it. You'll want something with health, either defense or dodge, I think it is. Yeah, dodge. And then just some type of damage rating, either if it's, you can go try to get an attribute, you can try to get mental damage, you can try to get melee damage, so on and so forth. And I need to rebuild this Iron Buddy just a little bit, but you want base damage to mental powers or melee powers, you want something that gives you extra damage in your cosmic, and then I have 2 fighting, but you'll generally want either 3 fighting or 3 energy. So it looks like I'm not prepared, and the reason why that is because I'm really not. I didn't realize I had this much work to do. Using Domino as a team-up, let's just go and murder something. The standard thing we do is Shocker. This is a really solid build. I actually took it, even with all of its problems currently, with certain items not being appropriate, I took it into Cosmic Midtown and never died. Which surprised me because I've been dying on characters that were originally unkillable. So the rotation that you want to try to do is you want to try to hit Psimatar Slam, Psimatar Thrust, and then Psimatar Sweep. And then at some point in time during that combat rotation, you want to hit Swift Lunge so that you can get the extra cooldown reduction on your Psimatar powers when you hit. The problem with that is that you have to hit. And sometimes that's a little difficult. Simply because Swift Lunge has a very narrow hitbox. And if you're standing right in front of somebody as you do the damage to them, you may or may not get the cooldown adjustment for it. So, go ahead and drop my bomb down there. I do use Eye for Weakness as an additional vulnerability applicator, because it does actually help in combat. So, you can do that. Notice how I was actually able to get the Swift Lunge off by moving through the 2 of them. So, but you won't always get that. So there you go. Armor's up. So, I gotta go defeat Magneto, which I'll probably do after this video is done. And your little movement here ability does actually stick your Psimatar out, so you do deal damage into enemies as you charge through them. You can also gain your life on hit, because you are hitting enemies as well.
Here I am.
It will sometimes knock people back, which is funny to watch a dude just go flying across the screen. And here we are against Shocker. So, Shocker, it's easy just because he's an easy fight, but it does have a fair amount of movement to it, because he does jump around, and he also does enough damage in a certain spot that you will want to move. So, easy rotation. You generally want to start with Psimatar Slam or Psimatar Sweep, so that you can get the extra damage off. I try to start with Slam just so that my Sweep can get the extra damage. So there's Slam, there's Sweep, Thrust because I messed up my rotation by accident. It's not super intensive, you're not required to get it all done. But you do want to benefit from your rotations as much as possible. So I mean, that jump there would have actually killed a couple characters that I have right now that are relatively built. So, and he's tanking damage. And it's pretty easy. It's a fairly, standard build. Just go, don't F up. Slam your Psimatar down. Do as much damage as possible.
Can't celebrate.
Get your creds. And, body slide out. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did showcasing it to you. Remember to like and comment on that video. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at RybackStun. I stream Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. PST. We stream Marvel Heroes, World of Warcraft, Path of Exile. Shardbound is a game I'm going to be looking at here eventually down the line once it gets released, so I can do different things on that. Anyway, all kinds of stuff. Come check it out. Come have fun. Thank you very much, folks. And with that, this is RybackStun signing out.